Okay, you're all set.
All good?
Good.
Okay, meeting was already in session. We're going to stand up and do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, need approval of the meeting agenda. Miranda, second by Matt, all in favor? Approval of the minutes, regular meeting minutes on June 7th, 2023. Need a motion, Miranda. Second, Matt, all in favor?
Aye.
So moving on, 5, presentation awards, acknowledgements, board service recognition.
Do you have a presentation?
Yeah.
Oh. You guys have your own too? Or, I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, okay. I'll get over. Sorry.
Good evening. Is it on?
I don't know.
Good evening. Tonight, Julie and I are here as the superintendent and vice president of the board to provide and present Brad Steve with an award of appreciation in recognition of his service to the Newark Board of Education. He has been on this board for the last 5 years. He's been an extremely strong advocate for athletics. His voice has been heard across many different areas, and he's been a strong advocate for students, staff, and families in our community. So tonight we would just like to extend our greatest thank you to you for your service, and especially this year as your board president and leading us all this past year.
I'm doing this on the fly because I was like, Sue, am I supposed to say anything? So, Brad, it's been a pleasure to be your vice president this year and to work alongside you, and the collaboration that we've had during our agenda planning and here on the board has been a great experience. So thank you for that, and it was wonderful to be with you alongside with you last year. So thank you for your service.
Thank you. All right, moving on. 5.2, Spring Scholar Athlete Recognition, John.
Kyle, get it set up. Pretty easy to see, I guess, that I don't have the same following I did in the winter, but nonetheless, it was a very productive and successful spring season. There's a couple things that I'm really excited about, but I want to go over the Spring Scholar Athlete Team Awards before we get into some of the, I guess, the accolades that we've earned over the course of the year. Scholar Athlete Team Award, Varsity Girls Lacrosse, and you can see the number of student athletes on that were able to attain a GPA of over 90 throughout the course of the year. This is spring, so this is something that they've sustained their entire, well, it is for the fourth quarter. So, varsity boys lacrosse, so both the boys and girls lacrosse teams are well represented here. Varsity boys tennis teams. It's just, if I go back through, I mean, the size of these teams is not gigantic, but look at the number of kids. It's pretty profound, the number of kids that are able to achieve that type of academic success. And not only should we be proud of what they were able to accomplish on the field or on the court this spring, but just an incredible amount of pride for what they've been able to accomplish in the classroom. Varsity boys tennis, varsity outdoor girls outdoor track, and then kind of leading into varsity girls outdoor track. We did have one individual Section 5 champion this year, and she won in 3 separate events. So Jada Solomon was the 55-meter Section 5 Division Class B1 champion, as well as 200-meter run and in the long jump. So quite a year for Jada, who was a sophomore. Jada was one of 3 kids that represented Newark Outdoor Track at the state championships. On the left, you can see Dominic Wilson. In the center is Caden Hughes, and then of course Jada's on the right there. Jada went for those 3 events that you saw listed before. Caden went for high jump, long jump, and Dominic went for 110-meter hurdles. And you can see kind of what they were able to accomplish at the state meet. Caden was second in Division II, so the state meet is split into 2 divisions, but then third place in the championship, that's everybody. So that's the federation, public schools, private schools, everybody in the state of New York. So he was able to finish third in the long jump in the entire state. So it's quite an accomplishment for all 3 of those kids. Here's a list of our first team all-stars for the Finger Lakes: Carlos Boyso, boys lacrosse; Stella DePapua, girls lacrosse; Caden Hughes, boys track and field; Tony Canale, boys tennis; Lena Ramos, softball; Jada Solomon, girls track and field; Preston Steve, boys lacrosse; and Dominic Wilson for boys track and field. Now, this is something that early in the year, actually the first time that I spoke in front of a group of people in Newark, I gave 3 goals, 2 of them, one of which was to earn the School of Distinction Award, which means 100% of our sports teams qualify for and earn the Scholar Athlete Team Award. The School of Excellence is what we were able to achieve this year, which means over 75% of our teams qualified for and earned the Scholar Athlete Team Award. So that's pretty incredible. You can see the number of teams that's listed, or the teams that earned the distinction listed below. So I think it's 24 out of 29 teams achieved Scholar Athlete Team Award, which is pretty remarkable. You guys have all been here longer than I have. I don't know if you've been presented with this before or seen this before, so maybe it's a first in some time. So this is a pretty proud achievement for me, and I think it should be a pretty proud achievement for our teams, our coaches, and our community. Something to really kind of get behind. Which leads me into goal number 2, which was earning the New York State Public High School Athletic Association and Spectrum Sports Stay in the Game Sportsmanship Award. It's not necessarily an award, but this program recognizes schools that complete the entire school year with 0 unsportsmanlike disqualifications for coaches and student athletes. We did that. 0 disqualifications for coaches and or players at any level for the entire school year. So between School of Excellence and the Sportsmanship Award, this was a pretty successful school year all the way around. So I'm not sure that you've seen this before or how recently you've seen this, but this is something that I'm really proud of, as well as this, and all of our kids that represented us at the state tournament, and all the success that we had throughout the course of the school year. It certainly was a lot of fun. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here today and celebrate this with you and provide you with this information. I hope that our student athletes and our coaches make you all proud, make the community proud throughout the whole year. But certainly hanging our hat on being good sports and leading by example, and hanging our hat on getting the job done in the classroom is 2 pretty remarkable feats. So.
Does this also include the modified program?
Yes.
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 I see high school in there, so.
So I took the graphic off because it really isn't explained well on the website. So when I refer to this as an award, it's not necessarily an award, but the schools that earn this distinction are recognized by being in the program for the awards ceremony. What we do get is a banner that says New York State Stay in the Game program, and then we'll earn a sticker with the school year on it that we can place. So we'll put the banner in the gym and we'll put the sticker on there. Every year that we earn this distinction, we'll get a sticker to put on that banner. So if there's any other questions, I'd be happy to answer.
So what are you going to do for your next year?
Well, hopefully we do this again. One of the things that I would love to see added to this is spectators. And so, and in all honesty, we had 0 spectators at varsity events removed on site.
That's impressive.
That's impressive.
So, and that was the first thing that I said when I stepped on campus, and we responded. It was awesome. It wasn't like we didn't have to go, have conversations with people, but people were respectful, right? And I think, our student athletes demonstrated what we're capable of, and hopefully, we can continue as a community to follow their lead. Absolutely. Anything else? Well, again, it's been a pleasure. I really appreciate it. I look forward to kicking the sports season off soon. August 21st, we'll get started.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on to 6, public comment. This time, public comments are invited from those individuals who have signed in at least 5 minutes prior to the start of the board meeting, or those that did so on the website as well. Speakers must wait to be called on by the board president. Identify yourself. Limit your remarks to not more than 3 minutes. Appoint a spokesperson if a concern is a group concern, and to supplement verbal presentation with written reports if necessary or desired. Personal comments toward a member of the community, staff, or Board of Education will not be considered appropriate. A representative will respond to each speaker within 5 business days. Public comment can also be submitted via email to susan.hasselnauer@NewarkCSD.org or bradfordsteve@NewarkCSD.org, which I don't know if I would do that because I will be around much longer. When emailing in a public comment, please use the subject line public comment. So first, we did have one sent via email that Susan's going to read.
This email was sent in by Patty Verberidge. Good morning. It was brought to my attention that a door was left open all night at the high school, discovered around 5 a.m. this morning, and this was on June 9th. As a parent, it is concerning to me that something like this could happen. I would also like to know what is the safety and security policy procedure for this event, as Newark Central School District is all about policy and procedure. Was video looked at before allowing staff and students to enter the building this morning? Was a sweep done of the building to ensure there was no one in there? I would appreciate an answer to my email, and I would also like this read aloud at the next Board of Ed meeting for public comment.
Great, thank you. All right, moving on to Steve Halligan.
Here.
Good evening. My name is Steve Halligan. My brother Walt spoke to you all last week. He's the brother with the gray hair. I'm the brother with the no hair. I graduated from Newark in 1973. I had 3 kids, graduated in 01, 03, and 07. I want to make some comments on the gender identity subject. There's been a lot of writing about that. There was something in the D&C this morning. Many times you read things that say something like, a person's sex is assigned at birth, and I guess legally that is correct, but the reality is it happens long before at conception. And the reality is boys are different than girls. And I just don't think that boys should be playing girls' sports. I think boys should be playing boys' sports, girls should be playing girls' sports. Boys should be using boys' restrooms, girls' restrooms. Now that doesn't mean that I do believe you have to treat everybody with dignity and respect, whether you are trans or binary or non-binary or gay or heterosexual. It makes no difference. Each person deserves dignity and respect, and I really believe that this can be done by having boys' bathrooms, girls' bathrooms, etc. Now I understand a policy has been passed. And I really urge you to go really slow on this. Number one, the law is really confusing. I listened to the board meeting last night. There's federal, there's state, there's guidance, there's law. I don't know what has the power of law and what does not. Number two, I don't think the community is really engaged in this process. Number three, this just seems like a giant rabbit hole that we're crawling down, number one, and a giant budgetary sinkhole. I would really encourage you to ask the superintendent to come, before you get before you do anything, ask the superintendent to lay out what this will look like. What is it going to take to create this policy, what's it going to take to implement this policy, and what's it going to take to maintain this policy. I think it's going to cost a lot of money, and it's going to use a lot of time, and this is what is really important to me. I think there's a real potential that you can only do so much. You know, the pie is only so big, and you can only do so much well. And I'm really concerned that we're going to jeopardize our academic mission. If you were to ask me, I would put a higher priority on raising the reading and math scores in middle school, which I believe are a little lower than average, than this. And so I would really know before you get into this, and I hope you're not planning on doing this in the upcoming academic year. I would just go very, very slow on this. I'm at 3 minutes, and so I'm going to.
Yeah, Steve, you're up. Thank you. Okay, moving on to, there's nobody else, moving on to old business, new business, issue of public interest, 7.1. Do we have anything to respond to?
So last week, we had 3 people speak on the topic of gender identity: Doug Blackall, Walt Halligan, and Chelsea Shaw. And we just wanted to thank each of them for sharing their thoughts regarding this topic. We know that everybody has different varying beliefs, but we do hear each one of your voices and listen to what you have to say. So thank you.
Okay, 7.2, the second reading of the draft 2023-24 Code of Conduct. Do we need a motion on that? We need a motion to accept. Russ, second. Miranda, all in favor? Any opposed? All right. 7.3, reserve fund recommendations. Hey. You got that one?
Yeah, you guys got it.
All right, so do we need, I need a motion to accept. Russ, second. Miranda, all in favor? Aye, no opposed? Sit here again. 7.4. No, he said we got him before. 7.4, 2023-24 Board of Education meeting calendar. Need a motion to accept that. Everybody see it? Matt, second by Miranda. All in favor? Aye. What's that?
I just want to add one more thing. If you didn't see my email, I wanted to change the March board retreat to the 1st of February 7th. Stacy sent me the agenda of our previous February, and we didn't have much going on, so we can do, that's kind of mid-year as it is. So that's one change. And then I would like to add the May 22nd to do the finalize of our, if we want to add anything that we did from February to May to our goals, and then also review the superintendent's goals. And then I would also like to add a date for the annual thing that we do for visiting all the schools in September, the walkthrough. I think we should decide a date and or say that we want to do it in September and October, and then August, when we come back in August, we can decide what date in September we want. Yeah, we did it in November. It was a little late than what we normally do it. We tried to hit September. So the facility is walkthrough. Yeah. So if we want to pick the month, and then when we come in August, pick what day.
So you could also make it the reorg in July.
Yeah.
So let the new
Yeah.
board members hear that.
Yeah.
And input, and you can just have that conversation.
Oh.
Sorry. If you wanted to discuss it at the reorg in July, just to solidify that date and have everyone bring calendars, then that would be able to work then, and the new board members would be here, and you might even be able to get it wrapped up in July if people start looking at the September, October dates.
We'll do just the May 22nd and February 7th. Everybody good with that?
as we go through the year, you know, add topics to future board meetings and republish that on the web and different places so that people know maybe in 2 months this topic is going to come up. Because I think that would help give the public an idea of what we're going to be talking about when.
So from our leadership standpoint, we'll be going through that at the leadership retreat this July and just identifying when certain benchmarks are due and presentations that would correlate with the data. So if there's a topic that you want to see put on there for the upcoming year, please let us know when you want to see that and we'll put them in those months that you would request that.
All right, moving on, 9, review and approval of the consent agenda. Did I get a motion? What did I skip?
Verbal reports.
Oh, yeah, I flipped it over. Verbal reports, instructional.
It's usually
It's your last.
Push to the left, push to the left.
Well, I'm passing tonight. I won't have anything to update.
Krista's passing. I got you, Krista.
There you go. Yeah.
I got you. I'm already on, so I won't let you on. And since we just met last week and I'm doing end of the year stuff, I'm going to pass also with our updates.
Superintendent?
Okay, I'm gonna just touch on human resources a little bit. It's been a very busy hiring season. Today we completed round 3 of assistant principal interviews at Kelly. It was a very rigorous process in this last round. We had 4 candidates and we are able to select one. We will be wrapping that up in the next day and notifying that candidate, and we're very excited about the new administration at Kelly School and opening next year with 2 brand new administrators.
Now is the consent agenda. Need approve? Russ, second. Miranda, all in favor? All right, moving on, board committee meetings and related updates, legislative, Nisbet, Fort County, Wing Finger Lakes.
I attended the Wayne Finger Lakes BOCES meeting on Monday. It was Vicky's last meeting. They informed everybody that they are doing a capital project as well. The campus in Stanley is getting more because the capital project previous to this one focused more on the Williamson campus. So they highlighted the areas that they are improving in those, and Vicki gave a very nice goodbye. So it was nice to be there for her. Fort County, when is the next new board? I don't know that one. Russ.
We had the mandated training this Saturday, the 6-hour training. It was as exciting as they always are. There were some very good board members there, good speakers, and a lot of really good questions.
All right, 11.1, safety security update positions, it's ongoing. I know the RFP's been sent out. You want to add something?
The RFP has gone out. We've had one company inquire, but not submit anything yet. So it'll be posted for 2 weeks.
RFP is up for 2 weeks, which is about the minimum to give people opportunity. Legal notice is out, and if anybody, I believe it's on the website, I can double check with Kelly. If not, if anybody is interested, they can let me know, and we can email them the application also for the RFP.
Okay, that's it.
Just want to bring up the auditorium for the high school and middle school. I didn't see that added last week. I meant to bring it up last week, but didn't get the opportunity to. So just for the sound lighting. stage, AVL. Thank you.
All right, so 12, adjournment, any motion? Russ, second. Scott, all in favor? Meeting's over, thank you.